Hey indie filmmakers, I'm Griffin Hammond, and today, on the final day of 2018, I want to share a story about the importance of investing in yourself. Even silly videos you create can be a great investment in your filmmaking future. It's also the story of how Andy the cat ended up on Polish television. So I want to introduce you to my guest today, Andy the cat. Hello Andy, how are you doing? So a few weeks ago, I got an email from a producer at a Polish television network called TVN, and they produce an evening news show called Fakty, which means facts. And they asked me if they could include in their broadcast a video that I made about Andy the cat in 2011, 7 years ago.
So I set up a time-lapse camera to see what he does all day while we're gone.
It's my fourth most popular YouTube video where Andy climbs up a Christmas tree while we're not at home. And they asked me if they could include it in the newscast with a credit that said youtube.com/Griffin Hammond. And I said, yeah, sure, that sounds awesome. Please do that. So let me just play you a portion of what ended up in their story.
Właściciel tego kota postanowił sprawdzić, co kot porabia, gdy pana nie ma w domu. Włączył kamerę i wyszedł. Kot najpierw rzucił okiem przez okno jedno i drugie, sprawdzając, czy na pewno jest już sam, a następnie rzucił się na choinkę. I zabłysnął gwiazdą swą na szczycie. To jest życie. A właściciel niech dostaje kota, skoro w jednym miejscu i kota, i choinkę chęć mieć miał. Paweł Abramowicz. Fakty.
So TVN is a big television network in Poland, and this is one of the most popular evening newscasts there. I think millions of people watch the show, so that's pretty cool for Andy the cat. Don't you think that's interesting, Andy? But I didn't understand most of what was said in Polish. I picked up a couple words like kot is cat. But luckily, people that follow me on Instagram were able to help out. I asked if anyone could speak Polish and wanted to translate this, and I got two different people who helped me out. Martin Bellier and also Franek Superjonik translated this from Polish to English for me. And one of the things that Martin noticed is there's a part in the story where they say that Andy got to the top and became the star of the tree. And he says that's actually a double entendre in Polish, that becoming the star also means doing a really great job, doing your best. So Andy became the best and was the star at the top of the tree. So I love that this happened, especially 7 years later. I think it's just a great illustration of the fact that you never know what, even a silly video you make, what it's going to accomplish, where it's going to lead, that 7 years later, someone is still interested in this thing that I made. In fact, looking back, I think it's kind of an embarrassing video because it's really my first time-lapse, but it's not done with photos. I've learned a lot about how to shoot time-lapses since then. This was just a video camera I had at the time that could shoot one frame every 30 seconds or something, or every few seconds. So it's a pretty slow time-lapse. There's not a lot of frames there, but it was able to do the job and catch Andy in the act of climbing the tree. This video, it's interesting to look at the analytics for it, because in its first year, after I uploaded it in November 2011, it didn't get a ton of views. It got 5,000 views over the course of a year. It was really slow and normal. In fact, you can look at this analytics chart on YouTube. You can barely even see that first year. But then it landed on some Christmas blogs or something the next year. Some different news sites picked it up and said, hey, look, here's our roundup of cats climbing trees, and here's one. And so then in that first Christmas, or really its second Christmas, it jumped from 5,000 views up to 32,000 views. And then it was even bigger the next Christmas. It landed on some other sites, some Japanese websites. I think it was on I Can Has Cheeseburger, which I don't know if that's still popular. But that year it jumped from 40,000 views up to 250,000 views. So I think it was that year in 2013 that it really made a bunch of advertising revenue. It probably made maybe around $500. So I remember thinking we owe Andy a present or something. we give him a lot of food and toys and things. It's also a video, if you look at the audience retention chart, that I should be pretty proud of this. Even halfway through the video, it still maintains over 80% of the audience. I mean, most of my videos, maybe it's down to 50% or below that by even 30 seconds into the video. This one, people stick around. They want to see what happens with the cat. So I guess I just want to use this video. There's a lot of videos I've made. You know, I talk about sriracha a lot as probably the most important passion project I made in my career. But it's a lot of little silly YouTube videos I have like this that have led to really interesting opportunities. And it's not like this one has made a ton of money or it's led to a career opportunity. But I'm sure because it's one of my more popular videos, I've built audience off of it. I've earned subscribers because of it. You know, it's fun that it keeps popping up in the news. I can say that my work has been shown on Polish television. So I encourage you in the next year, make it one of your resolutions to invest in these kinds of videos too. You know, work on important things, but just put a lot of work out there because you never know which things are going to lead somewhere interesting. Well, great job, Andy. Thank you for your hard work. That was a great performance, and you should be really proud of yourself. Before I go, I want to introduce you to my son, Peter. He's only 3 weeks old, but he's getting in on the family business by talking about today's sponsor. That's right, Peter. Hey, Indie Filmmakers is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace, of course, is the website that I use to host griffinhammond.com and this podcast, and I find a lot of value in it. It's become a great way for me to have a portfolio online. I also use it as a bunch of redirects, you know, to get to my gear page, griffinhammond.com/gear. I use it to publish the podcast as an RSS feed. So there's a lot of great things I can do with my website. And I encourage you in the next year, if you're looking for a way to put yourself out there, to try Squarespace for free for 14 days. And if you want 10% off your first purchase, you can go to squarespace.com/Griffin. Anything else we should mention, Peter? That's right. He says, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in 2019. Do you like that microphone?